Hey everyone, this is my video for HearthPwn's weekly card design competition, week 36. This week's theme was to create a neutral spell. Can't imagine this video being very long. It's a pretty basic spell, pretty simple idea. Although I have to say, an idea that I'm not really that fond of. If I was designing or working for Blizzard, I would not make a neutral spell. I don't particularly like the idea. I think the spells are really what makes each class unique and individual. The class spells and the class cards. And I feel like putting in neutral spells would sort of water down everything. It would sort of help contribute towards the thing that Blizzard are really afraid of, the Hearthstone developers are really afraid of, which is watering down everything that already exists, which is why there are 9 classes still. They're not introducing the Death Knight class, or the Panda or whatever, the Monk or whatever. I think it's Panda, isn't it? I think so. I don't really know much about World of Warcraft, but anyway, I think it would help contribute to that sort of watering everything down. But anyway, I made something to enter either way. I'm making this video after the competition ended. I didn't get first, second or third place, but I did make it to the finalist poll. It's a pretty simple idea: 4 mana, summon 2 random Murlocs. So your first impression of this card might be, well, 4 mana seems quite steep for 2 Murlocs, considering you're probably going to get like a 2 mana Murloc on average, or a 2 mana and a 1 mana Murloc. You have a chance of getting something pretty shitty. But the reason I priced it this way is because if you take a look at the new Murloc Paladin card, I can't remember what it's called. But it's proven to be a really strong card. It doesn't actually matter what it's called, it will be on the screen anyway. But it's the 4 mana 3/4, and it turned out to be quite strong, and on average you get something pretty decent when you activate the Inspire mechanic. And also it is a Murloc itself, so when you play High Tide, you have a chance of actually summoning that card as well. So because the pool of Murlocs has sort of gotten better recently, I feel like 4 mana is a perfectly fair price. In fact, you possibly could even go up to 6 mana. The reason being is because, first of all, it's 2 cards in one, which basically frees up a deck slot. If you were to have 2 individual Murlocs, it would take up 2 deck slots. If you have 2 Murlocs as a spell card, it takes up 1 deck slot, and that's really important. Secondly, it makes it a good top deck. A lot of the Murloc synergy decks are pretty fast, and if you're running out of cards, this card really helps Murloc synergy for classes that aren't Warlock, basically. It helps the Shaman Murloc deck. It helps to sort of introduce the Murloc synergy into other classes, basically, and that's why I designed this card. There's another reason why it's a common. So yeah, pretty simple idea, but I think it would be pretty cool if it did exist, in a world where a neutral spell existed. I like to think that this is a fair and pretty good idea, because Murlocs seem to have that theme of, like, they want loads of decks to try out Murloc synergy, and it sort of, this card just helps you do that a little bit better. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next one.